Our best infielder only hit 143 last year.
Yeah, and I think, our best outfielder was like 210?
I thought we had a chance this year at the Little League World Series. We're not going to cut it with these guys, man.
No, we're not.
Dude, who are you calling?
My Uncle Bill's in town. He's usually pretty good at this stuff. Hey, Uncle Bill, are you busy? Uncle Bill, thanks so much for coming. We are in such a jam.
Yeah, man, our region's boundaries, dude, we got the worst players in the state in there.
Yeah, you gotta break down boundaries, Find new ways to win.
Dude, that just got us a whole new infield.
How about this? Gotta work to give yourself a chance.
Don't just give us the outfield, please!
Yeah,
Cuba!
My work here is done.
Cuba, Illinois!
Yes,
Nice.
sir! Viva Cubano, Viva Cubano, Viva Cubano.
Okay, time for the box score. Start right now.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees.
Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you, because I probably am.
Howard Coward for box score.
Hello and welcome to the box score. I'm Brock in Los Angeles, joined by the Danets in Milford, Connecticut. Let the rumors fly. This morning, Adam Schefter got the Tom Brady mill going again when he reported that Brady will accept a one-game suspension if he doesn't have to admit guilt. McLovin, is this going to fly?
Oh, I don't know. We were just talking about there's been some quotes that have been coming out of court that look very negative for the NFL. So maybe Brady would even take a step back from that stance.
You know what really sucks is that Twitter sometimes cuts off headlines. So I was looking this morning and I see Tom Brady will accept a one-game suspension. I'm like, whoa, my goodness. If all these things. So it's one of those things you got to be very careful. And Twitter is very haphazard, cutting off headlines with the number of characters they have. But I was like, oh, no.
But that's a new thing now. You take a quote and you just take the part that you want.
Sure.
And ignore, like the RG3 quote the other day. That's what you do. You can take anything and make it into anything you want.
Yeah.
Thank God for Twitter. Well, Peter King joined the show today and talked about the new Brady reports.
I'm sure that Adam, as always, has excellent sources on this and is right. And I think what I would make of this, Dan, is that all along, the one thing that Tom Brady was absolutely positively adamant about is that he is not admitting guilt. And, he's basically saying the NFL has a lot of circumstantial evidence, but they don't have one bit of evidence that has me telling Jim McNally or John Jastrzemski, I want the balls lower than 12.5 PSI, because there hasn't been. I mean, maybe they've got something that they haven't released, but for the public record, nothing like that has been released.
Looking at houses in Vermont.
Yeah, he's come too far. I'm no legal analyst. I'm not going to pretend to be one. But, you hear these stories about that he would accept the one-game suspension as, and with the no guilt. All I know is that both sides have come too far, especially Brady, where he's not going to accept any type of suspension. Guilt, no guilt. I think they're in it all the way till the very end, whether it's up till September 4th or whatever the deadline is going to be, that he is going to keep fighting and not take any type of suspension, whether it says, there was guilt involved or not guilt. He wants to play in that game opening night against Pittsburgh, and no scenario where he's going to miss a game seems like it's going to be acceptable to Brady's side.
By the way, were you watching that video? If you notice, Fritzy really stood out during that video. Fritzy was in deep listen phase. He almost had a puppy dog look. But if you'll notice, who usually try to listen, I'm looking up log furniture or something like that. Seaton was laughing about something, but I don't know what it was. McLovin was.
I do this a lot. I notice whatever you
But you were looking at something else. You were definitely reading an article, some type about some non-sports.
Well, I gotta
definitely not listening to whatever.
Peter did. Okay.
And even Dan, I don't necessarily think was listening.
It looked like he was.
Well, I gotta tell you, Peter had a good interview. Peter was good on Des Bryant because he was there. Peter did not bring the heat on Deflategate.
How would we know? Because none of us were listening.
Well, it was just his tone. Something Peter signaled like, I'm going to answer this because I have to, but I don't really want to. So I think because he hadn't studied it yet.
Fritzy gets points for strong faux listen phase. Now, Fritzy's not actually listening, but he definitely looks like he is.
If I was quizzed on the main things that Peter
No idea.
Are we sure Fritzy wasn't looking up at the monitor or something different with intent?
Oh, I don't know. What was on TV? There was Friday. Now, on the middle TV, I had Friday Night Lights
Yeah,
on. So it could have been a Minka Kelly scene.
I would be
I'm also clearly talking about.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. Minka Kelly.
Yeah, Minka Kelly.
Oh, we totally.
Good catch.
We totally misunderstood
Working on the
what was
last
going
of the
on.
lotion there in his hand.
Yeah, Minka Kelly, little lotion. It's like a holiday.
I would definitely be lying if I don't take occasional glances at Friday Night Lights on the middle screen.
There you go.
Of course you do.
smell.
Peter King riveting as always. Hey, Seton, today you were fed up with just about everybody today, and the NFL and its reporters were not exempt.
Well, first of all, it came from ESPN, so I don't believe it.
Wow. Wow.
I mean, no offense to Shefty, but so far, other than the league office, nobody has spread more misinformation in this case than ESPN has. So, I don't. We'll see if he gets that, but there are other people reporting all kinds of other things on the internet that may be just as true or just as fake.
I'm sorry, I just don't buy this happy-go-lucky poor commissioner got snowed by these people. He just didn't know what was happening and that he fell for it. I don't buy that at all. He's a really smart guy. Yeah, man, that felt good to say, both of those things.
But wait, Seton, you're ripping the commissioner for under-punishing Ray Rice and ripping him for over-punishing Tom Brady.
I've never ripped the commissioner for under-punishing Ray Rice.
Oh, well, you said he didn't.
I said he should have stuck by the 2-game suspension and stuck to his guns and said, no, you know what? This is what I thought the fair punishment was, and that's it, instead of caving to public pressure. That's always been my stance on that.
Interesting. Oh, by the way, Shefty, I don't think. Shefty hasn't really been wrong on anything because he hasn't broken a lot on this.
I'm going to jump in here because McClellan even said something during the show. He goes, wow, we're really killing Shefty. And Shefty doesn't whiff a lot. But you know what? Schefter is still under the umbrella of ESPN. So I agree with both of you. See,
I don't agree.
I actually said, no offense to Shefty, but ESPN, I said the whole organization has been spreading a lot of misinformation.
But I think there's a big difference between Schefter as a reporter and Mortensen as a reporter and so-and-so as a reporter.
Those are two guys who co-break stories all the time, because we all know what a crock that really is. So,
and that's
it's funny, but when you see Schefter's noticeably conservative. He does not go out on a limb very often.
Yeah, he is a very conservative guy, but you live in a house, and you're responsible
it's such
for
a big house, though. At this point, there's so many different voices. Stephen A's in that ESPN universe. Skip Bale's in that universe. Schefter's here. You got Lester Munson here. I don't know that you can put them all under the ESPN umbrella safely.
All of that stuff. What I said that ESPN has spread more misinformation than anybody in this case.
I'm totally.
That is a fact.
I don't.
That when you go back and look report by report, they still have up there, although they're changing the wording of it, a timeline of the Deflategate that really reads as a timeline of misinformation and bad reports, and they've taken credit for all of it. So I don't feel bad putting them all under that umbrella at all.
On blast, as a kid said.
Yeah, on blast. Boom.
I thought it was interesting. He said a league source told him. He didn't say someone with the NFL told him.
That's the same thing, though. A league source is.
How many times have we heard a league source tells ex-ESPN reporter this?
League source.
It's been the entire story.
Wait, does Schefter have to show his sources to at least someone at ESPN?
That's different.
Because you could just put sources on anything because no one will ever know because you're not saying who they are.
If you really trust your news editor or your assignment editor, you would tell that person because they're in the same boat as you that they won't reveal it outside of the room.
You would think that you have to tell someone before they let you run with something.
Until you earn the credibility. Like a guy like Jay Glazer, if he's going to break a news story, I would bet that he doesn't have to tell his boss at Fox, here's the guy. He just says, I got this. You got it locked. You got it locked. Go. And then you earn that credibility.
Well, good thing for us, our box score and DP NFL insiders are all over this, I think. Kind of. Maybe not so much. Who knows? Anyway, next, it is rookies and presidents. Now the president gets around, of course, it's a Ram 1500 Eco Diesel. Don't be silly. This boy can climb a hill, haul a trailer, and it is often called the Air Force One of trucks. Get off my Ram! Get more facts at ramtrucks.com. God's glory, Ram. Welcome back to the Box Score. Guys, with the NFL preseason underway, the players are starting to get their interview games back in shape with their stock phrases. Fritz, you've mentioned that the New England Patriots are a tough organization to do interviews from top to bottom. What other teams have been like that?
As far as trying to set up interviews through team PR, everyone, for the most part, is generally helpful. I have to protect my sources when it comes to this.
This is so ironic because you're being purposely vague and generic to protect your job of dealing with these teams. So you're lying to Brock.
I have to kind of be very careful what I say here because if it gets in the wrong hands, if I sell someone out as far as a PR person or a team that's been unhelpful,
a rival booker
just
could use this against you.
Did you hear what Fritzy said about you? Like, you don't get them up.
Did you guys watch Hard Knocks last night? There's a scene where Bill O'Brien, the head coach of the Texans, is instructing the rookies on what not to say during interviews. He goes, when you get asked in interviews about specific players on this team, you be as vague as possible. You just say, hey, practice is going great. Looking forward to the season. We're taking it one game at a time. Can't wait to compete for the Texans in 2015. He literally told them those lines. It felt like Bull Durham.
I'm going to use that. You know, some public relations directors are tougher than others. Some are very helpful. Some just, for whatever reason, haven't been able to help secure some of the guests that we're looking for on a regular basis.
Did you see this, McLovin? I'm sorry to spoil it, but Bill O'Brien says to some rookie, he goes, hey, Jim Smith, what do you think about the quarterback battle between, what's his name, Mallett and Hoyer? He goes, happy to be a Texan, man. Looking forward to the season. Our quarterback play is going to be key to our team, and I can't wait to see what we do out there. He's like, good job. And they kept going through every guy, and every guy's vague as hell.
That's just one step above. I'm just here.
He literally tell him, I'm just here to help the team. He used that line.
That's it's almost like Marshawn Lynch, basically. It's basically saying, I'm here because I don't want to get fined. Yep. It's maybe one small step.
Patriot way right there.
Yep.
Patriot way.
The Patriot way. Well, the always affable Oakland Raiders made Derek Carr available ahead of his sophomore season, and he was asked to give some of the NFL rookie quarterbacks some advice.
You know, the game is completely different. You know, the preseason is one thing, but when you hit those regular season games, you know, they're game planning to stop you. And so I would just tell them to study the film, be prepared as much as they could, and go out there and just give it everything you got. You know, that your rookie year is where you gain your experience. You know, what throws can you and can you not make. So I would say don't hold anything back at all. Don't have any reservation. Go out there and just play. And that's what's going to help them this year, starting all these games, is just getting that experience.
Yeah, remember he said he went through whole games at San Jose State where he did not get touched. Then he gets in the NFL and these huge guys are trying to kill him. He made it sound terrifying to be an NFL quarterback. For that brief, they're like, imagine being a rookie quarterback and going back and getting blitzed by the NFL guys. No wonder. And by the way, he was good, but he did not have that much success last year. He was like, it's hard, man, to play quarterback. We make it sound easy.
I've always found it fascinating because I've never played quarterback. To be able to stand there and focus and concentrate, knowing that there's 5, 6, 7 dudes literally trying to kill you,
and a whole blindside.
And you have to ignore it to a point of just like a shuffle back and forth. It's underrated, man. I couldn't imagine being calm in that situation.
Yeah, that's why Peyton's all like jittery all over the place because he's got guys.
Little jittery feet.
Yeah, no,
Happy feet like Phillip Rivers, AFC guy. Well, hopefully Derek Carr gets some luck from his Bay Area neighbor, Steph Curry. Steph joined the show today and talked about his offseason and a special round of golf.
Take a vacation this summer?
It was a vacation, but I was so stressed out about playing golf with the president that it flew by so fast it didn't seem like a vacation.
But you're good. Why were you stressed out?
I knew there'd be 25 Secret Service agents out there with sniper guns. That's pretty nerve-wracking for me.
Well, you didn't do anything wrong. They're not going to shoot you.
Well, what if I hit an errant tee shot and hit him right in the back of the head or something?
Golf is an intimidating game when you're playing with other people. Like, you never feel bad if you miss a jumper when you're out shooting hoops with some guys, but you shank one off the tee, you're like, oh, I'm such a loser.
And in front of the president and his whole...
But how much of a stickler are you? Like, if the president's got a 3-footer, I'm picking that one up. I'm going to give you...
3-footer's pretty big. That's
Barry O.
That's Barry O. Better try and
You never sleep on Barry O, but do you call him out for a premature...
3-footer?
But the president...
That's a long way.
How do you tell the president...
I'm going to guess that before you even get up there, there's a Secret Service guy who sort of kicked it in.
Like a 4-caddy.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely. That being said, can we talk quickly about the phone line there? Did anybody else's stomach sink when you heard food talking? And I was like,
there was a brief moment there, and I tried not to give in to that temptation to panic.
Definitely was like, knock on wood, like, let's just hold it together for like 10 minutes here, phone line. Keep it going.
Thankfully, there was a very quick second or two, and then
a little longer than a second.
4 or 5 seconds, whatever it was. There was a little touch and go there for a minute.
Good for you, Fritzy. Hey, Paulie, if the president barbecued for you and the barbecue sucked, would you come out and tell him that?
Yeah, I don't like lying to people unless it really serves my purposes. You know, if the president hosted a barbecue, Now, is he cooking? Is he overseeing the cooking? Is his staff cooking? See, I couldn't see the president accepting bad barbecue. You know, he doesn't have to accept any bad food, I would assume.
Yeah, but he can literally get barbecue from anywhere he wanted. Like, I want it from, like, Joe's Shack in, you know.
Right. We've talked about this before. I can't think of the bigger upside of being the president. Hey, it's 2 a.m. You know what? I would love a slab of ribs and some lemonade.
I could really use a BLT right now.
And all you have to do, there's
There
a
you go.
phone sitting next to you, and all you have to do is lift it like this. And within minutes, there'll be barbecue and lemonade coming to your door.
I need a 6-pack of Bud Talls. Like the show right up.
You could be a billionaire, and that can't happen. Like,
Would you guys abuse the privilege like that, if you want to call it? That's like, if I have to do it all the stress of running this country, the least I can do is, make people run and go get things from me.
But that's what they're paid for. I'm assuming there's people on call all hours of the day.
24/7.
There's got to be a chef at 3 a.m. just in case. And he's sitting there going like, what the hell am I doing?
You have some wake somebody up in the middle of the night to make you a turkey sandwich somewhere.
Most of what we know about the president's office is from the movie Dave.
Yes.
Yeah, so that's
the bratwurst scene.
Yeah,
He
that's what we're
balanced the
basing
whole
this on.
budget by going over things like toilet seats.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
That's pretty much how the government works,
But
right?
if you told me I could ask Barack Obama one question and he'd give me a brutally honest answer, I was like, what's the biggest indulgence you've ever had in that category? Like, if it's been 2 a.m, he said, I would love some root beer. And I want root beer right now.
Yeah. And I want this specific
specific one that they only make like.
You're assuming this is the real Barack Obama and that Barack's not really in a coma somewhere and it's a guy who looks like Barack
Dave.
Obama.
Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah.
Possible? Likely? I don't know.
Wow,
You
this
decide.
is interesting. Real Barack Obama. All right, we will get real with the boys next. Find out how much they know about each other. Chicken parm right now. Like that. Welcome back to the Box Score. You guys have had all sorts of actors come through the doors. You've had comedic royalty, you've had dramatic actors, and of course, action heroes. Maybe, no, I don't think you've had any, really. Keanu, maybe, but you haven't had some real badasses. So maybe this game will help inspire you to book some action heroes. It's time for...
No! Your row!
Okay, guys, I'm going to be asking you for your favorite fictional or non-fictional movie badass. Let's start in the front row. Seaton, who is Paulie's favorite fictional or non-fictional movie badass?
Well, Jason Statham is his go-to.
Yeah. Transporters 1 through 3.
But now I feel like, though, Paul could zag here when I think he's clearly going to zig and go something like Flash Gordon, like a throwback.
Sam Jones, played by Flash Gordon.
Flash Gordon. Man, what do I... It's got to be Jason Statham.
Swayze and Roadhouse?
Or what about Wild Bill in Roadhouse?
Yes.
Dang.
Sam Elliott.
Is it?
whole group.
Were we just talking about Roadhouse when we taped these, and then that?
Roadhouse.
I'm gonna go with my gut. Can I say Jason Statham?
Yeah,
That
can
work?
he say Jason Statham?
Come on. Jason Statham. Come on.
Nice.
Yes.
That was so easy.
I knew it.
Yeah, Statham's awesome. I think we're gonna get him someday on the show. It'll be pretty cool. I heard he's smaller than we expected, which doesn't mean he can't kick our asses.
Yeah.
Probably could.
He still is. Okay, back row, Pearl, who do you think Fritzy picked?
Janet Jameson?
Fritzy's not much of an action
She's
hero
actually
guy.
got a nice ass.
Sylvester
Not a bad ass.
Stallone from Rocky jumps to mind.
He's been in Rambo, so he can be an action hero.
I want to say Sylvester Stallone and keep it vague like that.
Yeah, was it
Stallone or
Frank's brother, Sly Stallone?
Favorite movie badass? I'm gonna go with Jean-Claude Van Damme. As much as I like Stallone and some of the people like that, and the Rock is really cool. But once I saw like those blood sport and kickboxing movies, there was a little bit of a man crush there. So I'm gonna go Jean-Claude Van Damme. Yeah, I had a little man crush on Jean-Claude Van Damme. And they were going, Kumite, that blood sport movie.
Yeah.
And he did some kind of thing where he did some kind of split where he was like walking on the wall with both his legs straight out, like he was doing some kind of exercise like in his hotel room. It's pretty hot back
Exercise in his
day.
hotel room.
He was pretty hot back
He was back in the day. Jean-Claude Van Damme. Those kickboxing movies.
Exercise.
Not an underwear wearer either.
Can I join your guys'
God
front row
bless
team? I want nothing to do with this.
Jean-Claude Van Damme.
All right, let's keep the momentum. Let's stay with the back row, shall we? Fritzy, who is McLovin's favorite badass?
I was, while we were going around the room there, I was bouncing back and forth, but I'm going to go Die Hard's own Bruce Willis.
Yeah, I talk about him all the time.
Yeah, was it John McClane?
All the time.
I thought
My
he was-
favorite movie, Badass, it's more of a collection of the bad guys in Slapshot, specifically Ogie Oglethorpe.
Mitch. That's
I have no chance of guessing
That's probably one of your worst answers.
Ogie Oglethorpe?
Yeah.
I mean, you have to answer the most simple thing in the world for him to get it.
That's revenge at Fritzy for giving me random answers
Fair.
for 3 years.
Fair.
My
Ogie
other
Oglethorpe?
guess for you was going to be Roger Moore. Or James, someone
Roger
James
Moore.
Bond guys.
Yeah, Roger.
That's funny.
So you're gonna say for me, by the way, he was gonna say Roger Moore, and he said Bruce Willis. Have you ever heard me talk about either of those people?
How often are you talking about your favorite badass? When
I thought
does
you
that
meant
come
like
up in our
bad
conversation?
guy.
Are you riffing on Oglethorpe a lot in the studio?
I talk about Ogie Oglethorpe all the time. Ogie Oglethorpe,
when do
man,
we
he's the
talk
ultimate badass.
All right, finally, Paulie, who did
Still think
Seton
it's Bruce
choose?
Willis.
I was going to say Bruce Willis because it's easy. I was also thinking Daniel Craig from the Bond movies. He is kind of a badass. I can't think of a lot of...
I would try to give you subtle clues here, but I have no idea the answer myself.
Yeah, I thought Schwarzenegger because he's old school, but,
Know yourself.
but the political angle of a Schwarzenegger doesn't jibe. I'm gonna go Daniel Craig, 007.
Yeah, was it Daniel Craig?
Well, I guess I'll say because it's the first one that popped in my head, which is almost never my real answer. Darth Vader. I mean, Darth Vader was pretty much a badass, even though he was still being controlled by the Emperor, which is kind of lame. That dude, man, when he came out and you heard that music, you were like, oh, this dude is for real.
It wasn't like an actor. It was like,
Yeah. Okay, first of all right, when you look up badass in the dictionary, Darth Vader should be the picture you see first, the name you see first. Now, just to show you how inaccurate a game like this is, while I was thinking, I wonder what my most likely answer would be, it was Uma Thurman in Kill Bill. Wasn't even close to what I answered there. So
Know yourself.
I would have gotten that horribly wrong.
Yes.
Or Darth Vader.
Well, you got just enough to get the victory today, so congratulations to the front row. All right, this is the box score. We are taking a break. To remind you that the Ram Heavy Duty with its best-in-class towing, torque, and horsepower doesn't need one. And it could make the Kessel Run in 12 parsecs, so take that and you pipe Darth Vader and smoke that. All right, to get more facts, ramtrucks.com, Guts, Glory, Ram.
The Yankees tweeted this Bay Rod with like the heart's eye emoji.
Oh, no.
Bay Rod, like Bay, like people say like my baby or my girlfriend or something.
Like Bay.
Bay Rod.
I don't get that at all.
So now you're embarrassed to be a Yankee.
Well, how do you? No, that's been building for a very long time. This is like just the final straw.
We are closing up shop here at the box score. Well, Seton, it finally happened. You snapped. The Yankees went out and put up Bayrod like they were Kylie or Kendall Jenner. Don't you want your team to be hip though on social media?
No. No, I don't. I don't want them to be like 13-year-old girls where all of a sudden, their batting lineup is on fleek or some crap like that. I don't want to hear any of that.
On fleek. We'll look that up. Oh, that's a new phrase. Hey, Paulie, have you ever broken up with a lady because she had an annoying phrase or a set of words that just bugged the hell out of you?
Man, probably.
That'd be a great, by the way, a great list of reasons Paulie broke up with ex-girlfriend.
Yeah.
I'm sure they were little things like that.
If we ever got into this topic, I think you guys would be pretty entertained because I've moved away from cities to get away from girls before, and they don't know where I am. I never just said, hey, I'll see you tomorrow or see you this weekend. And then I pack up in a Ryder truck and move to Arizona or New York.
Been there, done that.
I'm not even close to kidding. The reasons have been, the last girlfriend I broke up with before I met my wife, she was wearing an all denim outfit and it had no comic value to it. It wasn't a part of a bit. I was like, I gotta go.
It wasn't ironic at all.
No, and I just left.
Just poorly dressed.
And I just left the bar, and she's probably still looking for me.
Acid wash.
Still wearing that.
McLovin, out of the entire crew, who tries too hard to be hip? Or use hip slang?
Maybe
We should all
me.
try harder.
Definitely not me.
I think Paulie doesn't try to be hip. Paulie tries his own thing. Fritzy obviously doesn't try. Seton, I think, is generally kind of hip. Like, kind of has a hip, the beard. Like, you're pretty hip. I don't think there's effort there.
Scene's not hip because to me, hip is like a negative thing. To me, hip is like trendy. And if you try to wear what you see on Details magazine, to me, cool is wearing what you like to wear and foregoing all other trends.
Wait, the question was who puts effort into, which is what you're saying, like who's phony about it. Like, you don't like phony, you don't like effort. I don't see you putting much effort into being hip. I think you are kind of hip, but I don't think you put it.
I think it's sort of dressed the same way I did when I was 15, which actually makes me more of a
But
loser.
question, there was two guys in the back who were really hip, and you did make a mental note, I'm gonna emulate those guys.
Oh yeah, I definitely borrowed from those fellas regularly, specifically when it comes to winter coats.
And you were so excited, you loved them, but the second they left, you were so excited so you could just buy everything
I get to wear
they
this
were.
faux leather jacket, yes.
So maybe there's something, maybe seed,
All right, let's wrap it up, guys. Fritzy, who's on tomorrow?
The blackboard is currently bare with a very lonely piece of chalk, so we'll have to get back to you on that. We are open, but
be positive. Say it's gonna be a great
things
show.
Have a way of, that's right. We don't need guests. If we happen to get a few, I'm sure they'll be the topical right ones to chat with. But if not, I think you got a nice group here that'll figure out the reality.
Why would you even need a booker
quality
then?
program.
If we could do it without guests.
Yeah, Dan.
That's something that should be
All
explored.
right.
Maybe.
Fingers crossed for everyone tomorrow.
Unemployment line for me.
Yeah. We're back tomorrow, same time, same channel. The podcast is available on iTunes or podcast1.com. Good luck, Fritzy.
I don't know a lot about sports, but I can drink a lot of beer.
My motto is simple. C's get degrees. Need a long, inappropriate hug? I'm your man.
I think I'm smarter than you because I probably am.
Hey, thanks for watching the box score. Holy cow!